So Fox News is trolling Donald Trump today, and look at this image, or video I should say, of a guy on a unicycle juggling fire in front of traffic. This is a perfect representation of the Trump administration today, and Fox News will put this out there. This is what they're putting out today, sort of as a pushback and a trolling of Trump. So what kind of clown show does Trump have for us today? Well, he's tweeting out these basically racist images of the Obamas. And he's getting called out on it from both Democrats, Republicans, and just voters all around. This is Tim Scott, Senator, Republican, a big supporter of Trump. And he says, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. Again, that's from Tim Scott. And to give you an idea of how close Tim Scott is to Trump, there he is right there, Tim Scott with Trump attacking Jerome Powell. And I put out the image that Fox is showing of the guy juggling fire on a unicycle in front of traffic, because when you look through, Fox's social media, they're not going to mention this, right? They're not going to mention this image of the Obamas. And so what they do over there to push back, they'll show you, well, hey guys, here's a guy on a unicycle juggling fire in front of traffic. That's sort of their way to troll Trump. Missy then says, one of Trump's people, I am still trying to process President Trump's video depicting the Obamas as apes just hours after he spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast. Christians, we cannot simply brush this off. It cannot be defended. No matter what other issues or ideals you support or don't support, please don't turn your head from this. Stephen A., he says, see, this is the BS that can't be tolerated by this admin. The White House can try to spin this any way it wants, claiming it's, quote, fake news, and someone altered the video. But if you were sensitive, thoughtful, and decent, you're not connected to something this shameful. And then you also have the NCAACP says, Trump posting this video, especially during Black History Month, is a stark reminder of how Trump and his followers truly view people. And we'll remember that in November. So actually, it took a few hours, but the Trump people did delete the video. It says Trump posts, then deletes video depicting Obamas as apes. And then essentially we get a inside account. They're going to try to blame a staffer. But it doesn't really help the situation, because then that means you got a bunch of morons running Trump's social media, right? That would be one. Another way you could read it is, well, they're just frankly lying. That's Trump who tweeted out and they're just making crap up. Another way you can read it just shows the White House runs the show by social media. What else can you say about this stuff? But this is where they're at, and when they, by removing it, also shows that they admit they made a mistake.
Rather naturally, voted for the president, supported him, but I really want to apologize. I'm looking at this awful picture of the Obamas. What an embarrassment to our country. All this man does is tell lies. He is not worthy of the presidency. He takes bribes blatantly, and now he's being a racist blatantly. They were supposed to deport the dangerous criminals. They were not supposed to go after small children, storm schools, bring terror upon, the little kids and the women and children, not just the immigrants in the school. All the children are scared. This is not a decent man. This is not an honest man. He openly takes bribes. He's pathetic as a president, and I just want to apologize to everybody in the country for supporting this rotten man.
John, did you vote for him in all three elections?
I did. I was sucked into the stupidity of creating jobs, and there are no more jobs in New Mexico. Things are worse than they were before. You cannot find a primary care physician. Our governor just passed some laws to try to help. If you are a young physician, we want you in New Mexico. Come here. There's a great need for you.
All right.
And that shows you a Trump voter. So this person says he voted for Trump 3 times, but I guess finally enough is enough. And at least you finally learned the truth, but you already did what you did. And for, for those of us who can see Trump who he is, the same way we can see Elon Musk who he is, we're not just making stuff up. We're just showing you what Trump says and does on a daily basis. I think, there's a combination of stuff is Trump's actions plus the poor economy. But at least you can see that some people do have a conscience, even if it's a bit late. So there's that.
Okay, now this. A new poll shows 59% of voters disapprove of President Trump's handling of the economy. That's his worst rating on the economy since he took office. That was back in 2017. Griff Jenkins joining us this morning. Why are you laughing?
Well, because, listen, that's a terrible number, Stu.
So they're even telling you it's a terrible number, which we all should know. 59% disapprove of the Trump economy.
Don't exaggerate. Hyperbole, it doesn't work.
No.
You can't keep on saying this is the greatest economy that the world has ever seen and the prices are falling and falling and falling. People won't believe you if you say that.
Well, that's right, Stu, because when you say that we have the best economy in the world and Americans are not feeling that, then they not only don't believe you, they feel abandoned. They want to know that they've got the guy that's fighting for them.
So as you can see today, Fox News is really pushing back on Trump, actually talking about the poll numbers, how people don't like Trump's economy, or how disconnected Trump is. So for example, this is Trump today and the White House, Team USA, American Eagle, American flag, let's go. Go Team USA 2026 Winter Olympics, and it shows a picture of Trump. And for me, this is like a massive disconnect because if you're going to tweet out about the Olympics, tweet out our team, members of our team. Like, is the only member of our team Trump? Is that what that is? You guys see how ridiculous that stuff is? Like Trump always has to be the center of attention. That's essentially what he is. But this is a horrible leadership here. Just imagine in your country, because people watch this from all around the world, if, the social media tweets out support of the team and then just show you the president, it's weird, right? Usually you would show the team. Okay, great. This is, though, understand that people don't go for this stuff. This is more on Trump polling.
I guess the question, as we get closer and closer to the midterms, which party do people trust, knowing how they feel about how Donald Trump has handled things when it comes to the economy?
Right, the economy, right? Affordability. Donald Trump has been dismissing affordability concerns, but when 54% say the top priority should be lowering prices, not much of a surprise, right? Party trusted more in affordability. Overall, it's the Democrats by 14. Look at this. Among independents, I'm laughing. It's 39 points. It's a blowout. This is the entire ball game right here. And when you're having a 39-point lead among independents, a 14-point lead overall on affordability, and right now the top priority, the Americans say, should be lowering prices for the Trump administration. This is the type of formula that equals major success for the Democrats come the midterms, if it holds.
And we have seen that in the special elections. We'll see if that holds in the midterms.
We shall see, Sarah.
So those are the polls today, because basically people don't like Trump or the economy. But you never know, right? You never know. As the one guy who said, I still voted for Trump 3 times, even though Trump's a rotten dude. But at the moment, the polls are pretty negative for them. This is more a conservative-leaning poll, Rasmussen. That says Friday, February 6th, the Rasmussen report's daily presidential tracking for Friday shows that 41% of likely U.S. voters approve of Trump's performance, 57% disapprove. Okay, this is from Rasmussen. And you can actually see their chart here. Total approval, it's just, I guess this would have been back in January last year, 56. He's currently at 41. This would be the more conservative poll. So pretty low numbers. What is this one here? Strongly disapprove, strongly approve. So we've got strongly disapprove at 47, strongly approve at 27. So he's still got his base there at 27%. And again, this is Rasmussen telling you this stuff. And then when Trump has a plan for the economy, take a look at this one. This is a new one. I hadn't heard this one before.
Right, here we go with this. You've heard of buy now, pay later. Well, Lauren, what's this about rent now, pay later?
It's a new option for renters who are struggling to make the monthly payment. You can spread your payments out. Companies like Flex and Affirm are letting users break up their rent sums into multiple payments throughout the month. So let's say your rent is $2,000. You pay $1,400 on the first of the month, the remaining $600 on the 15th of the month. Typically, it depends on the service that you use. You pay them a fee or a monthly subscription. But if you miss the payments, that's when the interest rates go way up. So look, I get it. Rent is expensive and people are struggling to get by. But if you can't make your rent when you're supposed to, you might need to
Adam,
find somewhere else to live.
Is this a bad idea?
This can be dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. I would say if you know that you've got expenses, account for them, let them accrue over the month, be smart about it, and don't get into a situation where you're borrowing something that you know you have to pay.
Okay, so in the Trump economy, it's so bad. Now we're talking about, I guess, renting your rent. I don't know how else do you describe this. I mean, it's awful. So you can't pay your rent, so you do what they call it, the rent now, pay later, and you'll make payments throughout the month to pay the rent that you need to pay. And if you miss, they're going to raise your interest rates by a crazy percentage, and I'm sure it'll be predatory, and they'll even charge you fees. This is setting up people for disaster, and that's why, like, when Trump goes out on the road and he'll say, "Oh, that's a affordability hoax," or he'll just, tell you how awesome the economy is, and like people out there on the ground are like, "Dude, food's too expensive, and I can't even pay my rent." And now you're setting up the system where, like, I'm going to rent my rent and an installment plan, which is like crazy in itself. There's so many crazy craps going on in the USA, but I just want to show you guys the polling data. People can see it. Even Fox News, that I showed you in the beginning, this is the best way to describe the Trump administration. It's Trump's the dude on the unicycle juggling fire in front of traffic, and we can all see it. So, like to hear your thoughts on any one of these things. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you all in the next video.